This is Mission Control Houston, and welcome to our live coverage tonight for Orbital Sciences' third commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station. Getting a live view from the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility, sitting just a little over 52 launch. Liftoff time scheduled at 5:22 p.m. Central tonight. As mentioned, this is the third flight of Orbital Cygnus vehicle to resupply the International Space Station. As of right now, the range sits green, not tracking any issues with the vehicle or the range during the countdown. For those of you that have been following the mission along, it was originally scheduled to launch yesterday on Monday, but due to a boat in the launch zone, the mission had to be scrubbed a day. But again, as of right now, not tracking any issues with either the vehicle itself or the range, everything green.
We're approaching our T-minus.
Fueling for the Antares rocket started on time at 1 hour and 45 minutes before launch. The propellant being loaded in to continue readying Antares for its liftoff. Some of the major milestones coming up will be the poll to proceed with the start of the main engine system chill down. Following that, we'll get ready for the final readiness to proceed with the final countdown, that coming at about 5:10 p.m. Central Time, and then auto sequence handoff to the terminal count, meaning in the automated countdown to launch, and then finally launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time tonight.
The Antares agency are all green at this time as well. LC.
So the Cygnus vehicle was mated to the Antares rocket just late last week and then rolled out to the pad. We have a couple of quick video clips from that activity. And there you can see the Cygnus craft as it was being prepared to be mated to the Antares rocket. This occurring late Thursday last week. At this point, the vehicle loaded with the over 5,000 pounds of supplies and scientific experiments and crew provisions that it would be carrying to the International Space Station. The fairings going around the rocket, which will protect it through the ascent up to orbit. And the rocket itself being rolled out to the launch pad at Wallops on Friday last week, beginning in the afternoon, going in to Friday evening. The teams have been getting some great weather to cooperate, both during the rollout and during yesterday's launch attempt and today's launch attempt, whether or not impeding rollout or either attempt. Currently about a 95% chance for favorable weather, so overwhelmingly favorable for launch tonight. And so, as mentioned, a little over 5,000 pounds of cargo currently loaded in, including packaging to the Cygnus craft. Without the packaging, just a little under 5,000, about 4,800 pounds of supplies, among them different scientific investigations and crew supplies. Cygnus, along with SpaceX Dragon, the main supplier to the U.S. side for these scientific experiments and for crew provisions, various food supply items, and also flight procedure books, and a number of different hardware items, spacewalk equipment, and a couple of computer resources rounding out the cargo inside. And with its launch coming out of Wallops on Virginia, the launch will be so again, 48 minutes now from launch. Antares lifting off from the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. The launch will actually be visible to folks all along the eastern seaboard, from all the way up in New England, all the way down to South Carolina. Here you can see, judging by the colors on the map, when it will be available after launch. Again, the launch coming at exactly 5:22 and 38 seconds. So if you take a quick look at this map, find roughly where you are, find the corresponding color, and you might be able to see a rocket launch tonight. But again, this Antares is fourth launch from the Wallows Flight Facility. The rocket, owned and operated by the Orbital Science Corporation, is a two-stage launch vehicle, liquid-fueled, using both oxygen and refined kerosene, also known as RP or rocket fuel, a very common fuel used in rocketry throughout the history of various nations' space programs. The first stage, the primary stage, being powered by two Aerojet Rocketdyne AJ-26 engines. The second stage of the Antares rocket, a solid Castor 30XL upper stage, which will fire for a number of minutes to complete Cygnus's boost into orbit. This will be the first launch to use a larger and more powerful Castor 30XL second stage motor. The whole powered flight to orbit lasting just about 9.5 minutes from liftoff to separation of Cygnus from the launch vehicle. As mentioned, the Antares program being very successful for Cygnus, the first launch being done successfully back on April 21st, 2013, when Orbital launched its demonstration mission. And then on Orbital's demonstration mission in September of 2013, both of those launches under the Commercial Orbital Transportation System contract, where Orbital was still proving its ability to carry cargo to the International Space Station. And again, this is the third full-up resupply flight for Orbital to resupply the station. And also the third launch this year, in fact, the first one coming back in January of 2014, the second in July. And for Orbital, there will be 5 more launches on the Antares for the under their commercial resupply contract. So the flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston standing by to monitor, and also the flight controllers out at the Dulles Flight Control Room, the Orbital Flight Control Room in Dulles, Virginia, standing by, and they'll be responsible for controlling. As you can see, the flight controllers dressed up, harkening back to the early 1960s regalia in honor of the namesake of the Cygnus vehicle, Cygnus CRS-3, named after former NASA astronaut Deke Slayton. Orbital continuing its tradition of naming the spacecraft after various astronauts that have made significant contributions to spaceflight. Deke Slayton, one of the original Mercury 7 astronauts who eventually flew on the Apollo-Soyuz test project mission back in 1975, continued to be a champion for NASA after retiring from the agency back in 1982. Slayton unfortunately passing away back in 1993. So this mission, this craft named in his honor, and the Orbital flight controllers in the Dulles Flight Control Room in their 1960s regalia, white shirts, skinny ties, and a quick fade to the black and white of the days back then when Mercury astronauts were controlled by flight controllers here in Houston. So a great tribute to a great man who was made some pretty amazing contribution as not only as an astronaut, but as just a member of the NASA family.
For your recommended flight computer trajectory file for today's launch operation?
Yes, LC, we would like to select trajectory file 0 for today's launch operation.
Okay, copy 0, and Ops 1 LC on countdown 1, step 336. Select flight computer trajectory file 0.
Ops 1 copies. Nominal default select.
So the flight director here in Mission Control Houston, Royce Renfrew, just giving the call to the Orbital team. Just went around the room and did a poll. The space station teams ready to support this orbital launch, giving them the go on their end. The final orbital poll for readiness to proceed to final countdown will be coming up in just about 30 minutes from now at 10 after the hour. Right now we sit at T-minus 42 minutes, 44 seconds until launch.
And Ops 1 LC, countdown 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, step 338, can you verify ground-to-vehicle communication?
Ground-to-vehicle communication is nominal.
Roger that. We'll check 338 complete.
And one of the other players in tonight's launch, the Range Control Center at the Wallops Launch Control Center, NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. The team again not tracking ends, the range green, the vehicle in great shape. Propellant fueling done right on time. Continuing to proceed towards that 5:22 p.m. launch of Cygnus 3 on its way to orbit.
Cold helium bottles are submerged and cold helium charging is in progress.
Okay, I copy that. We'll go ahead and check step.
And one of the primary functions of both Cygnus and the SpaceX Dragon vehicle these days to provide thousands of pounds of various experiment hardware to continue the utilization of the International Space Station by the crews on board. Some of the science loaded into this, some of the highlights. One of the more exciting ones called Meteor, which actually standing for the Meteor Composition Determination, is going to be using some high-resolution video and image analysis of the atmosphere. Actually learn about physical and chemical properties of various meteoroid dusts, including both size, density, chemical composition, the major aspects scientists can use to track and understand.
Charging is complete.
And some of the hopes out of investigating the elemental composition of these meteors as they burn up in the Earth's atmosphere could help lead to a better understanding of how the early planets developed. And then continuous measurement of meteor interactions with Earth's atmosphere could also spot previously unforeseen meteor showers. And this will be the first ongoing meteor study taking place from the International Space Station. And then a major source of research on board, of course, human health studies, a new one coming up called Brain Drain. It's going to help inform a better understanding of the blood flow in space that could possibly aid to treatment of headaches and other neurological systems, other neurological issues reported by crew members living on board the International Space Station. It's actually flying a special neck collar that's going to be used to measure the blood flow from the brain for the brain drain study. This collar not only having the ability to measure this in our astronauts in orbit, could also become a useful tool for monitoring patients down here on Earth who have various heart or different brain disorders. It could also have some implications for developing more advanced screening methods and mechanisms for different cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's. So just one more way that the science taking place on board station directly benefiting those of us down here on the ground, truly working off the Earth for the Earth. The countdown continuing to roll on, 39 minutes coming up from Antares launch and Cygnus's trip up into orbit. And this a view of where it's headed. This currently a live view from one of the high-definition cameras on the International Space Station, part of the high-definition Earth viewing, or HDEV payload. The station itself currently swinging just out over the northern Pacific in that orbital daytime.
N level of 15.
Okay, I copied
At
that.
the time of launch, station will have continued on this orbit and will actually be over the southern Atlantic, just off the western coast of Brazil. You can see that top track where it's going to carry it, but for now providing a pretty stunning view of the Earth below, again passing over the northern Pacific right now.
And OCCS2 LC countdown 1.
This is OCCS2, go ahead.
Yeah, step 348, configure OCCS for no adjustment to fuel level.
Copy that, configuring for no fuel adjustment.
That's some live audio from the orbital countdown loop. You'll routinely hear Adam Lewis, who will be the orbital launch conductor, the LC, for tonight's launch. In just about 2 minutes, should be getting to the pole to proceed with the start of MES chill down, or main engine system chill down.
OCCS2 LC, countdown 1.
This is OCCS2. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you confirm that you've configured OCCS for no adjustment?
That is confirmed. We are configured for no adjustment.
Okay, copy that. We'll check step 348. And launch team, be advised, step 349 is not required for today's operation.
LC Core 1 on countdown.
Go ahead, Core 1.
Yeah, did you call me on step 347?
Yeah, that's an affirm. We had a report 15 out of 15 on our target level, and so my assumption was that we did not require any adjustment today.
Yeah, I concur with that.
Roger that.
Houston Station on 2, no response required, but if you can flip us over to NASA TV, that'd be great.
And launch team LC on countdown 1. At this time, I would like to poll to proceed with start of MES low flow chill down. GSO?
GSO is go.
RSO?
Roger. RSO is go pending relocation of personnel on Assateague.
Okay, copy that. RSO is go pending. TD?
TD is go.
OLL?
OLL is go.
Stage 1?
Stage 1 is go.
GCE?
GC is go.
ACE?
ACE is go.
And LD?
LD is go.
Launch team is go for MES chill down, and MES low flow chill down will commence at T-minus 30 minutes. Be advised we have a go pending from RSO based off of personnel on Assateague Island at this time.
And so the poll to start with MES chill down and go pending that one personnel move from nearby Assateague Island. That chill down should be coming in just under 4 minutes now. The next major milestone to look forward to in the countdown coming at just 10 after the hour, where they'll do the poll for our readiness to proceed with final countdown.
And OLL, I'll look for your confirmation of start of MES low flow chill down at T-minus 30 minutes.
Yeah, copy that, LC. Stand by.
And once the two Aerojet AJ-26 engines in the first stage ignite at 5:22 p.m. and 38 seconds, it'll take just over 2 seconds for the vehicle to actually lift off. That first stage firing for 3 minutes and 54 seconds, carrying it to an initial altitude of about 62 miles. Just seconds after that main engine cutoff, the first stage will separate.
Launch team LC countdown 1, be advised.
This is a quick animation again. Liftoff coming just 2.2 seconds afterwards. The main first stage is firing for just under 4 minutes. Once they've done their job, they'll cut off. First stage will separate. The fairing protecting the vehicle will separate. and then shortly after that, Stage 2 will ignite. Stage 2 will burn for just about 2 minutes and 46 seconds, at which point it will detach at an altitude of over 80, just over 130 statute miles, putting Cygnus into its initial orbit. We'll then stand by for the solar arrays to deploy, and then Cygnus will be on its way towards the International Space Station. The vehicle scheduled to loiter in order to allow the launch and docking of the Russian Progress vehicle. Will arrive on November 2nd, moving up towards the station. Standing by to grapple with the vehicle will be NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman and Barry Butch Wilmore. They'll be ready in the station's cupola to operate the robotic arm to reach out and grapple with the unmanned vehicle as it makes its approach up. At that point, they'll be assisted after the grapple is made by robotics controllers down here in Mission Control Houston, who will be able to maneuver the vehicle into place, beginning the final approach. Here you can see a view of the cupola where the main robotics workstation on board the International Space Station currently resides. And the ultimate goal, maneuvering it into place and attaching it to the Earth-facing side of the Harmony module. And just a couple of quick times for you again. Cygnus, with a launch today, will be on its way towards a November 2nd rendezvous and docking. Our capture coverage will begin at 2:30 a.m. Central Time. The capture is scheduled to come at just around 3:58. We'll then break away for a few hours while the vehicle gets rotated into place, coming back on the air at 6 a.m. Central, with the install targeted to come again to the Earth-facing side of Harmony at 6:15 a.m. Central Time. For now, though, continuing to get some views from the pad. As you can see, the weather fantastic out there right now in Virginia, under 30 minutes away from launch.
I copy that, OLO. We'll go ahead and check step 344 complete. And MES-1LC on countdown 1. I'll wait for your observation that we have decreasing temperatures in TOS 1 and TOS 2. And MES-1LC countdown 1.
LC MES-1.
Yeah, MES-1. Can you verify we have TOS 1 and TOS 2 temps decreasing?
Affirm. TOS 1 and TOS 2 decreasing.
Copy that. We'll go ahead and check step 345 complete. Electrical 1 LC, countdown 1, step 350. Verify no ignition commands are present.
No ordnance commands. All ODM commands are clear.
Copy that, Electrical 1. We'll check step 350 complete. Ops 1, this is LC on countdown 1, step 351.
So it's an incredibly busy time with traffic for the International Space Station. SpaceX Dragon just departed back on Saturday, a Russian Progress departing in the early hours Central Time yesterday on Monday. With today's launch, Cygnus will be on its way, and then just hours later, another Russian Progress will be lifting off from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Here's some quick times for that. That'll be taking place on Wednesday, tomorrow on October 29th. We'll be bringing you launch coverage at 1:45 a.m. Central Time. The launch coming just about almost 20 minutes later at 2:09 a.m. Central. The Progress making its 4-orbit, 6-hour rendezvous. So we'll be coming back on the air at 7:30 a.m. Central Time for docking of the Progress 57 at 8:09 a.m. Central. And coming up shortly on 27 minutes until launch. Again, the teams right now not tracking any issues with the vehicle. Everything continuing to look on track for this launch at 5:22 p.m. Central Time tonight. The launch coming just a couple of minutes after sunset, so it should improve the visibility for folks out on the East Coast. Again, the rocket launch visible from all the way up in New England, all the way down through South Carolina as it goes toward on its southeasterly trajectory.
And Ops 1, LC, countdown to 1. Let's press with step 352. You go to enable local launch enable button at failsafe panel and verify local indicators illuminated.
Launch enabled and illuminated.
Copy that. We'll check 352 and GSO.
Roger.
Step 353, you go to enable local launch enable button at the failsafe panel and verify local indicator illuminated.
LC GSO, launch enabled and illuminated.
Copy that. We'll check 353 now. And at this time, I want to verify that the RCC can perform their enable abort buttons, that their enable abort buttons are enabled and illuminated. PM?
PM enabled and illuminated.
RSO?
RSO enabled and illuminated.
FSO?
FSO, enabled and illuminated.
TD?
TD enabled and illuminated.
Copy all. Check step 354 and Ops 1. Verify we have a master global launch enable.
Master global launch enabled, verified.
Copy that. And electrical 1, step 356, verify launch enable and telemetry.
Launch enable verified.
Copy that, and we'll check step 356.
So just about to cross 24 minutes until launch. About 12 minutes away from that poll for readiness to proceed with final countdown. Again, the Cygnus cargo craft loaded with a little over 4,800 pounds of cargo for the crew of Expedition 41. A little over 5,050 if you include the packing materials. At the conclusion of Orbital's third resupply mission, the company will have carried a total of over 13,378 pounds of supplies and equipment to the International Space Station, also serving an important function to remove cargo at the end of its life on board station. It'll be packed with just about 3,000 pounds of trash that'll be burned up and incinerated during Cygnus's return through the Earth's atmosphere after it departs in December.
And launch team LC on countdown 1. At this time, I want to press with our poll for final FTS power on and arm command test. Safety?
Safety is go.
FSO?
FSO is go.
Ops 1?
Ops 1 is go.
Electrical 1?
Electrical 1 is go.
FTS?
FTS is go.
Launch team is go for final FTS power and arm command test. Check step 357. And FSO-LC on countdown 1, step 358. You're going to bring up your CT with check channel on.
Roger, FSO and work.
So the countdown continuing to roll on, coming up on 21.5 minutes until launch. The sky around the launch pad painting a pretty nice backdrop for this evening's liftoff. Not tracking any issues with the Antares rocket or the Cygnus nestled inside of the fairing.
LCFSO on step 358. WAPS command side on. Check channel radiating.
And I copy that FSO. We'll go ahead and check step 358.
LCTD countdown 1.
Go ahead, TD.
The final balloon data is all criteria are met for toxics and DFO. We're still pending debris. We have about 5 more cars to clear out of the area.
Okay, copy that, TD. And Ops 2LC countdown 1, step 359. You go to apply external power to FTSA and FTSB.
FTSA, external power on. FTSB, external power is on.
Check step 359, electrical 1, verify FTS external power status.
FTS external power status, voltage and current nominal.
Roger that. Check step 360 complete and FTS. Verify FTS indicates safe. Receiving check channel with nominal AGCs.
LC, FTS safe. Configuration verified. Check channel being received and AGCs nominal.
Copy that, FTS.
"19 minutes, 20 seconds until launch." Again, not tracking any issues with the vehicle. The range officers working to make sure everything's all clear for the on-time liftoff of 5:22 p.m. Central, 6:22 p.m. Eastern.
Transfer FTSA and FTSB to internal power.
Copy. FTS A and B, internal power on. FTS A, external power off. FTS B, external power off at 22:03:47.
Copy that, Ops 1 and Electrical 1. Verify FTS internal power status.
FTS internal power status, voltage and current nominal.
Copy Electrical 1. Check 363.
Roger.
And FSO-LC on countdown 1, step 364. You're going to send FTS receiver arm command for 2 seconds, then remove. Continue check channel when function removed.
Roger, FSO. Arm on my mark. 3, 2, 1. Mark. +1, +2. Arm removed. Check channel continued.
FTS, verify FTS arm indication.
LC, I have FTS arm indication.
And FSO, verify FTS arm indication.
FSO, FTS arm indication.
And FTS, can you verify our FTS currently indicates safe, receiving check channel?
LC, FTS safe.
And FTS, verify our FTS SNA and FTLU status indicates safe.
FTS safe and arm and FTLU safe.
Copy that.
And coming up on 17 minutes until launch, just be about 5 minutes away from that final pull for readiness to proceed with the final countdown.
upper level winds are green.
Okay, copy that. We'll check step 369.
LCTD countdown 1.
Go ahead, TD.
Confirmation that the area is clear and we are green.
Okay, copy that. We're now green for debris drift.
And the launch conductor getting confirmation, the area now green, the range green. The teams at Wallops always working to ensure public safety during these launches. Both out on the ocean in Antares' 1,400 square mile zone of exclusion during the launch, and also the surrounding area. Coming up now on 16 minutes until launch.
And CMD LC on countdown 1, step 370. You go to transfer Cygnus to internal power. Report when complete.
Copy that, LC, and work.
Copy and work. And site control LC on countdown 1. You go for step 373. Arm TEL for rapid retract.
Copy. TEL arm for rapid retract is initiated.
Copy initiated.
Under 3 minutes from the pole for readiness to proceed with final countdown. Just about 14.5 minutes until Antares launch.
Countdown 1. I'll wait for your call back when you can confirm that TEL is armed. Launch team, be advised. Final countdown and MES medium flow pole will occur at T-minus 12 minutes. Check step 371.
LC TEL on countdown 1. TEL is rapid retract is armed.
Okay, copy. TEL armed for rapid retract. Check step 374.
LC, this is CMD on countdown 1.
Go ahead, CMD.
Cygnus is on internal power and nominal.
Copy that. We'll check step 370. And launch team, at this time, I want to poll to proceed with final countdown and medium flow chill down. MES-1.
MES is go.
GCE.
GC is go.
ACE.
ACE is go.
GSO.
GSO is go.
RSO.
RSO is go.
TD.
TD is go.
Mars.
Mars is go.
CMD.
CMD is go.
LD.
LD is go.
Orbital.
This has been a lot of hard work to get to this point, to recycle and do it safely and do it correctly. A lot riding on this. Real proud of the Orbital Mars Wallops team, and we're going to continue the science and operations on the International Space Station with our largest load ever delivered. So, go Cygnus, go Antares. Orbital is go.
Copy. Orbital is go. Launch team is go to proceed with final countdown and medium flow chill down. Check step 372 complete. And launch team, be advised, phase 4 dynamic limits active at T-minus 10 minutes. Check 375.
So with that now under 11 minutes, getting some words from Frank Culbertson of Orbital as he gave the go on their end. Everything looking good. A green go from each member of the launch control team. So we now sit just 10 minutes 40 seconds from Orbital's third resupply mission, launching towards the International Space Station. As mentioned, things will go pretty quickly while Antares makes its a little over 9.5-minute flight to orbit to deliver Orbital's Cygnus into its initial altitude of just about 133 statute miles. First stage firing for just under 4 minutes. Separating, the second stage igniting and firing for an additional 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Before Cygnus will separate into its initial orbit, begin solar array deploy, and begin its trek towards the International Space Station for eventual docking on November 2nd.
376.
9 minutes 45 seconds to launch.
We're at T-minus 9 minutes. Ops 1, step 377. Enable stage 1 controller and ACS VDMs.
Stage 1 controller, VDMs enabled. ACS VDMs internal power is on.
During the climb to orbit, should be hearing some ascent calls from Mike Dorsch, the Antares chief engineer.
Verify VDM voltages.
Stage 1 controller and the ACS VDMs enabled. VDM voltages nominal.
8.5 minutes until launch.
378. And we're at T-minus 8 minutes. Flight control, LC, step 379, confirm GN2 conditioning started. GN2 conditioning initiated. Copy that, check step 379.
That sound you're hearing, nitrogen being purged from the vehicle. Currently just 7 minutes, 15 seconds away from launch. Antares standing on the pad at Wallops, ready to go, ready to deliver Cygnus into orbit.
And we're at T-minus 7 minutes. T-minus 6 minutes. Flight control,
5 minutes, 45 seconds to launch. Antares continuing to stand, fully fueled with liquid oxygen and refined kerosene known as RP, ready to power the first stage. Aerojet Rocketdyne AJ-26 engines on the track up into orbit. Cygnus covered inside of the fairing, which will protect it from atmospheric heating as it accelerates up through the Earth's atmosphere. Coming up shortly on just T-minus 5 minutes until launch.
Ops 1 LC, you go to transfer avionics to internal power.
Ops 1 copy. All internal power on. Now. Standing by 5 seconds. Transfer. All external power off. Now.
Electrical 1, verify avionics, internal power.
Internal power nominal.
Copy, check 382, NASA TD, report range status.
Range is green.
Copy, range is green. Ops 1, we go to open FTS umbiloop and verify green indication.
FTS umbiloop is open and green.
FTS, verify FTL user armed with no receiver armed, no FTLU struck.
LC, FTLU, and FTS receiver indications are nominal.
Ops 1, we go to activate arm enable.
Arm enable rotated and illuminated.
Ops 1, you go to send all arm command.
All arm command.
T-minus 4 minutes from launch.
Electrical 1, verify SNAs and ODMs all indicate armed.
SNAs and ODMs all armed.
LC copies, check 388. And launch team, be advised. Phase 5 dynamic limits will be active at T-minus 3 minutes.
At this point, the auto sequence handoff has initiated. The vehicle in its terminal count on its way towards launch in just 3 minutes, 5 seconds.
Auto sequencer startup. Control has transferred to
pressurization started. Copy 393, electrical 1, verify nominal ODM bus volts and currents.
ODM bus voltages and currents nominal.
Copy that. 4-1, confirm start of preliminary oxidizer tank pressurization.
Confirmed.
Electrical 1, step 396, verify SIGI ready to configure for flight.
SIGI nominal and ready to configure for flight.
Ops 2, you go to disable automated blended to pure inertial handoffs.
Automated handoffs disabled.
And Ops 2, send one manual blended to pure inertial handoff. T-minus 2 minutes.
Handoff.
Mark.
Manual handoff set.
Copy, check 398, check 399.
Passing the 2-minute mark, continuing to get good call-outs from the launch control team. Antares sits ready to launch.
1 and 2 heaters disabled.
Copy that. 4-1, we'll wait for your confirmation that we have started preliminary fuel tank pressurization.
Preliminary fuel tank pressurization started.
T-minus 1 minute on my mark. Mark.
And under a minute to launch.
T-minus 30 seconds on my mark. Mark.
And T-minus 30.
CBC slew initiated.
T-minus 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we have liftoff of Antares with the Orb-3 mission that brings Cygnus on its third CRS mission to the ISS. Got main engines at 108%.
Avionics power nominal.
And launch team, be advised, stay at your consoles. Everyone in the LCC, maintain your positions in your consoles. In the LCC, maintain positions at your console.
And for now, standing by for updates and information from the launch control out there at Wallops. We will continue to bring you information as it comes available. And if you're just joining us, this again a live view from the pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility, an explosion occurring shortly after liftoff of the Orbital CRS-3 mission on its way towards the station. We are standing by and will continue to bring you any updates as they come available.
Launch Director on the Countdown Net. This time we're going to implement contingency operations for today's launch activity. I'd ask all personnel to stay on console and to prepare to review witness statements and secure data.
And again, if you're just joining us, this again a live view from the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. An accident occurring just about 6 seconds after liftoff of the Antares rocket carrying Orbital CRS-3 cargo mission.
From all personnel that a mishap has occurred at Pad 0A. We have lost the Orb-3 vehicle. At this point in time, we're going to implement the Antares CRS Mission Contingency Reaction Plan. At this point, it appears that the damage is limited to the facility. There's no indication that there are personnel in danger, although we do have significant property damage and significant vehicle damage. I'd like to work with our representatives, our mission assurance representative to secure the facility and to collect all data. I'd ask all personnel to segregate any mission notes, any photographs, any other data that they've taken from the launch operation today, and to prepare that data to be cataloged and filed away in the contingency reaction process. That will include all your checklists. It'll include all handheld notes, any notes that you have on your computer, any files that have been transmitted. In the course of this launch operations, your computer will also need to be scrubbed of any files that were used for today's activities. So we're going to need to lock down any data that is pertinent to the launch operations today as we pull together the contingency checklist and the failure investigation board.
So again, this is Mission Control Houston. If you're just joining us, this is a live view right now of the launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility. The Antares rocket, an accident occurring shortly after liftoff to what was going to be the start of Orbital's third resupply mission to the International Space Station. The launch control team implementing their contingency procedures, gathering all the necessary data and snapshots of their consoles that will be necessary for upcoming failure board investigations. But for now, we'll continue to bring information to you as it comes in. But the orbital team in contingency operations right now.
For this activity? We do, and we've already notified the FAA Washington Ops Center. Okay, copy that. So at this point in time, we'll give everyone a few minutes to work on the witness statements as we pull together the plan for the rest of the contingency operations today.
And again, if you're just joining us, continuing to bring you views from the Wallops flight facility in Virginia at the launch pad where the Antares rocket suffering an accident shortly after liftoff. The orbital team implementing its contingency procedures, gathering all necessary data as they continue to assess what occurred. We'll be bringing you any accurate information as it becomes available. This is Mission Control Houston. Just a short update. Again, the crew has been informed of the accident during the Antares launch this evening. Signs currently indicating that it shouldn't impact the Progress launch scheduled to occur later in the early morning hours tomorrow. But for now, the orbital team in their contingency procedures, capturing the necessary data that will be used to assess what happened. Continuing to bring you live views from Wallop. And again, we'll bring you information as it becomes available here, and also you can go to nasa.gov/orbital for the latest information and an upcoming news conference. This is Mission Control Houston. Again, if you're just now joining us, an accident occurring shortly after liftoff of the Antares rocket carrying Orbital's third resupply mission into orbit. The launch conductor indicating no personnel appeared to be in the area, damage only to the site itself. The orbital team implementing their contingency procedures at this time, capturing all relevant data throughout the launch process to be used for further analysis. And again, we'll continue to bring you information here as it comes available. You can also continue to follow along at nasa.gov/orbital for all the latest information and a news conference schedule about the Orbital Sciences mission. And again, this is Mission Control Houston. If you're just joining us, the Antares rocket suffering an accident shortly after liftoff this evening. Liftoff coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. This was to be the start of Orbital's third resupply mission to the International Space Station. The Orbital Launch Control Team implementing their contingency procedures at this time, gathering all data related to the launch procedures from this evening. It'll continue to be analyzed as Orbital continues to assess the current status of the resupply mission. Again, we'll be bringing you any relevant information as it comes available here, or you will be able to continue to follow along at www.nasa.gov/orbital.
This is the launch director on the countdown net. At this point in time, as folks work on completing their witness statements, obviously we're going to need to implement an accident investigation team. Participants in that team will include NASA, Orbital, Mars personnel, and the representative for Orbital, who will be the Orbital interim lead for the accident investigation, will be Richard Straka. So he will direct the activities with regard to all the accident investigation work within Orbital Sciences, and will coordinate with the other parties. He'll also participate in the impounding of the data. As we get through this, we're going to need to impound, again, all the data that's relevant to the activity today. We're going to need to triage that and figure out, how that data gets transferred, how that data is stored and archived.
Orb-TM LC on countdown 1.
Yeah, Orb-TM LC, go ahead.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we power down the ground mock and stop telemetry archiving at this time.
Yeah, stand by. And Orb-TM, go ahead. You can go ahead and set or stop telemetry logging this time and archive files as required.
Orb-TM copy. So we're clear to power down the ground mock then as well?
That's an affirm.
This is Mission Control Houston again. If you're just joining us, continuing to get live views from the pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility, where the Antares rocket suffered an accident shortly after liftoff. The launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. The orbital team's continuing to assess all of the data, which followed a flawless countdown. The team was not tracking any issues. And again, we'll continue to bring you any information as it comes up.
This is Orb Team on countdown 1 again. We would like to proceed with power down of the EGSC running 19020 and retrieve the VIC log files and the UPS log files at this time.
Yeah, copy that. Is there any anything that we need to shut down remotely before we shut everything down and lose control? Like, no? Okay. Let's go with that recommendation then.
Orb Team copies.
And this is Mission Control Houston again. If you're just joining us, continuing to feed live views from the pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility. The Antares rocket suffering a catastrophic anomaly shortly after liftoff, which occurred at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern, to what was supposed to be the start of Orbital Sciences' third resupply mission to the International Space Station. This time, the orbital team in their contingency phase, gathering all pertinent data from their consoles that they tracked throughout all the launch operations this evening. And again, we'll continue to bring you updates here as they come available.
All right, this is Launch Director on the Countdown Net. We've confirmed that all personnel have been accounted for. We have no injuries in the operation today. We do have, the Cygnus spacecraft does have classified crypto equipment on the spacecraft, so we do need to maintain the area around the debris in a secure manner. That needs to be done for multiple reasons, obviously accident investigation, as well as the fact that there's potential security equipment involved.
Copy that, Mike. That's correct.
The launch vehicle is in the process of securing our log files, terminating the collection of data, and securing all of the telemetry files from the vehicle today. I would ask that the Mars personnel, if there's any files on their computers, on their servers, for the operation of the ground equipment, to also secure those pieces of equipment and prepare those to be archived and logged.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to feed live views from Wallops Flight Facility, the launch pad from where Antares lifted off at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern, suffering a catastrophic anomaly shortly thereafter.
Personnel in our Chandler facility, we have personnel in our Dulles facility, and we have personnel in New Church who were passive participants in the operation today. I would ask, I believe all the telemetry that's piped to those facilities is originally archived and stored here. So I don't believe there's any original data that those personnel have that were piped in via computer system. But we do ask that those personnel, any notes they took during the activity today, any other records that they took should be secured and should be forwarded to our mission assurance person, Kent Holter, who will ultimately be responsible for cataloging and archiving and working with the Accident Investigation Board to put that equipment or to put all that information into a central location where the AIB team can have access to it.
This is Dallas, Mission Director on Countdown 1. Copy all. Wilco.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, if you're just joining us, some live views from the Wallops Flight Facility, the pad, where Antares launched at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern, then suffering an accident shortly after liftoff. Orbital declaring a mishap, currently working to secure the area and all of the data from their consoles as they collected telemetry from the vehicle to use in coming investigations. The launch director confirming no personnel unaccounted for, so no injuries. The team continuing to secure both the vehicle site and their data. We will continue to bring you updates here on the air and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital as they become available.
There were no personnel involved.
LD OFI, right now we've is assessing whether the NTSB will be involved. So until we know that they will not be involved, we just need to make sure that we don't interview, nobody interviews personnel, because the NTSB will have the first right for interview.
Okay, copy that. So everyone needs to be aware that we do have regulatory concerns that we need to address with regard to this failure investigation. And there is a hierarchy with regard to the organizations that have authority over this type of event. So I think at first the FAA and NTSB will have the opportunity to assess their level of participation in the Accident Investigation Board. We'll need to convene the AIB and ultimately the responsibility for working closely with those regulatory agencies and determining a plan or a schedule for any interviews or data reviews will need to come through the AIB.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to show you live views from the Wallops Flight Facility out in Virginia, where the Antares rocket suffered a anomaly shortly after liftoff, which occurred at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. The orbital launch conductor confirming no injuries, all personnel accounted for. Orbital currently in its contingency operations, working to secure both the site around the launch pad and all of the data that was tracking telemetry from the vehicle during all of tonight's launch preparations. And as mentioned, we'll continue to bring any relevant information to you as it becomes available. Can also be found by going onto our website at www.nasa.gov/orbital. This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just now joining us, continuing to feed live views from the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia as night settles in around the pad where the Antares rocket, which was to be the start of the third orbital resupply mission to the International Space Station, suffered a catastrophic anomaly shortly after liftoff, the liftoff occurring at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. The Orbital Launch Control confirming no injuries, all personnel accounted for. The team's currently in their contingency operations in order to secure the site around the pad, and all relevant data from consoles, monitor, and telemetry from the rocket throughout all of the night's countdown procedures. Teams were not tracking any issues with the vehicle prior to launch. And again, we'll continue to bring any new information as it comes available, both here, and you can follow along on our website at www.nasa.gov/orbital. And this is Mission Control Houston. If you're just now joining us, continuing to get a live view of the pad out of the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. The Antares rocket carrying Orbital's third resupply mission to the International Space Station suffered an anomaly shortly after liftoff, which occurred at 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:22 p.m. Central Time. The orbital teams in their contingency procedures, collecting all relevant data that was collected, as well as securing the area around the pad. The launch conductor confirming no injuries, all personnel are accounted for. Again, we'll continue to bring you updates here as they come available, including the earliest timing for a press conference with relevant personnel, both on here and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital. This is Mission Control Houston. Again, if you're just now joining us, continuing to feed a live view from the launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital's Antares rocket, which was to be its launch to be the start of the third resupply mission for Orbital Sciences to the International Space Station. The rocket suffering a catastrophic anomaly shortly after liftoff. Liftoff occurring at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. At this time, the orbital teams in their contingency procedures, securing the site both around the vehicle and all of the data that was tracking telemetry from the vehicle throughout all of tonight's launch proceedings. The team up into the launch was not tracking any issues. The launch conductor also confirming no injuries. All personnel around the site are accounted for. We'll continue to bring you updates here on NASA TV as they become available. Also on our website at nasa.gov, including the earliest point at which we'll be able to do a press conference with all relevant parties. This is Mission Control Houston again. If you're just joining us, this a live view from the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffered a catastrophic anomaly just a few seconds after liftoff, which occurred at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time, was to be the start of their third resupply mission to the International Space Station. At this time, the orbital team in its contingency mode, securing the area around the site, and also all of the necessary data from their console systems that were monitoring telemetry from the vehicle throughout all of tonight's countdown proceedings and then through the launch. Teams were not tracking any issues with the vehicle prior to the liftoff. The range conductor also confirming no injuries, all personnel accounted for at the Wallops Flight facility. And again, we'll continue to bring you updates here as they come available and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital, including the earliest at which we will be able to hold a press conference with all of the relevant parties. This is Mission Control Houston again. If you're just joining us, continuing to get a live view from the launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffering a catastrophic anomaly shortly after liftoff, which occurred at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern, and was to be the start of their third resupply mission to the International Space Station. The orbital team currently in their contingency proceedings, securing the site around the launch area, as well as all of the necessary data from their consoles that were tracking telemetry from the vehicle. The range also confirming, though, no injuries and all personnel are accounted for as they continue to go through the contingency modes. Again, I'll continue to give you any updates as they come available here or on our website at nasa.gov/orbital. Among those updates will be the time of a upcoming press conference with all participating relevant parties. And this is Mission Control Houston. If you're just now joining us, this is still a live view from the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffering an anomaly just a few seconds after liftoff. The liftoff occurring at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. At this point, the Orbital Sciences team implementing their contingency procedures, securing the area around the launch zone, as well as securing all of the relevant data from their systems, which were tracking telemetry from the vehicle all throughout the launch proceedings and up through the launch itself. The teams were not tracking any issues with the vehicle up until that launch, again occurring at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. Orbital has confirmed no injuries at the range. All personnel are accounted for, and we'll continue to bring you updates here on NASA TV and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital.
And definitely do not talk to the press. We need to... And get this done just as professionally as we execute our countdowns. This is a part of our job also. So thanks for all the hard work getting to this point. We will understand what happened hopefully soon, and we'll get things back on track. We've all seen this happen in our business before, and we've all seen the teams recover from this, and we will do the same. So once you get to New Church, just listen for word from the team and from Rich on what we need next, and like I said, be very judicious about talking about it, even amongst yourselves, in terms of speculation. Definitely do not talk outside of our family. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone just stand by to be released by the NASA team here, the folks in the green vests. LD out.
And in the room, we do expect Bob or Bill, NASA representation and FAA representation and Mars representation.
And just now we heard some words from Frank Culbertson, the Orbital Executive Vice President. And if you're just now joining us here on NASA TV, this is a live view from the launch pad at Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, where Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffered an anomaly just a few seconds after liftoff. The launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. At this moment, Orbital continuing to move through its contingency procedures, securing the area around the launch pad. and all of the relevant data that was tracking the vehicle's health and status throughout the countdown this evening and up through the launch. The team's confirming no injuries, all personnel accounted for out at the Wallops Flight Facility. We will continue to bring you updates here on NASA TV and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital. Among those will include the time for when we're able to pull together a briefing with all the relevant parties to review the night's events.
LD OFI on countdown.
This is LD.
Yeah, LD, we've been informed by the FAA that the NTSB will be active, but they are going to be in a monitor mode, which means we're free to interview our people, and NASA is free to interview their people.
Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just now joining us, continuing to get a live view from the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, where the Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffered a catastrophic anomaly just a few seconds after liftoff. That launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. The Orbital Sciences team continuing to secure the area around the launch pad, as well as all of the relevant data that was tracking the telemetry of the vehicle throughout its countdown proceedings this evening and up through the launch. The Wallops team was not tracking any issues with the vehicle prior to that liftoff. The launch director also confirming no injuries. All personnel are accounted for in the area. At this time, Orbital Sciences is in its contingency proceedings, continuing to gather all of that relevant data. And we will continue to bring you updates here on NASA TV and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital, including the earliest possible time for an upcoming news conference.
LD, MES1, countdown 1.
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just now joining us, continuing to get a live view of the launch pad out at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffering a catastrophic failure just a few seconds after liftoff. The launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. Orbital Sciences now in a contingency state as they continue to secure the area around the launch pad and all of the data from their consoles that were tracking telemetry of the vehicle throughout the night's countdown and leading up to launch. Orbital Sciences has since released a statement confirming the vehicle had suffered a catastrophic failure. They will form an anomaly investigation board which will work in close coordination both with NASA and other relevant government agencies to determine the cause of the mishap. Orbital, since the failure has confirmed, there were no injuries and all personnel accounted for in the vicinity of the flight facility. And as mentioned, we'll continue to bring you any updates as they become available both here on NASA TV and on our website at nasa.gov/orbital, including the earliest possible time of a press conference where all parties will discuss tonight's events. This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to sit on a live view of the launch pad out at the Wallace Flight Facility in Virginia. Orbital Sciences Antares rocket just a little over an hour ago, suffering a catastrophic anomaly shortly after liftoff. The launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. Orbital Sciences at this moment still in their contingency proceedings, securing the area around the launch site and all of the pertinent data from their consoles, which were tracking telemetry from the vehicle throughout all of the night's countdown events and through the launch. The teams were not tracking any issues with the vehicle prior to launch. They will continue to assess. Orbital Sciences will form a mishap investigation team to discover the cause of tonight's events. But we will continue to bring you any information as it becomes available here on NASA TV and on NASA.gov. Orbital Sciences also confirming no personnel injured in the area. All personnel are accounted for. And again, continue to bring you updates here on NASA TV and at nasa.gov/orbital. And we are still awaiting the earliest possible time for an upcoming news conference where all relevant parties will be able to discuss the night's events. and this is Mission Control Houston with some updates for you. Just to recap, this is still a view of the launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility. Earlier this evening, Orbital Sciences Antares rocket suffered a catastrophic failure just a few seconds after liftoff. That launch coming at 5:22 p.m. Central Time, 6:22 p.m. Eastern. At this moment, Orbital Sciences, in its contingency procedures, securing the site around the launch zone, as well as all of the necessary data that was tracking telemetry from the vehicle throughout the night's countdown procedures and up through the launch. The orbital team has confirmed no injuries, all personnel accounted for at the Wallops Flight Facility, and will continue to collect data as they get ready to move forward with a mishap investigation of the incident. We will be bringing you a briefing here on NASA television coming up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. In that briefing will be Frank Culbertson, the Orbital Executive Vice President, William Roble, the Wallops Flight Facility Director, also from NASA, Bill Gerstemeyer, the Assistant Administrator for Human Exploration Operations, and also Mike Seferdini, the International Space Station Program Manager. So again, tune into that briefing for the latest on the night's events, and you can always continue to tune in to nasa.gov/orbital for events as we continue, as they continue to unfold and we get new information. For now, though, that will go ahead and wrap up our coverage of this launch this evening. This is Mission Control Houston.